Just lying down.
Will she sleep?
No, she probably won't. I think she feels that it would be disloyal to Joey if she didn't cry out all her tears, but thank you anyway.
It would be better for both of you to try and get some rest.
I have to go to the mill. I have to tell my father.
Well, I can do that.
I don't look forward to it.
Well, I know him. I've treated him. Stella, let me do that.
You're a sucker for punishment.
Miss Chernak, I'm Elliot Carson, the editor of the Clarion. I've just taken over from a man who could probably handle this much better.
Handle what?
Well, let's call it a newspaper man's formal request for a picture
Of the deceased?
Elliot.
I'm sorry, Mike. It's my job. May I have a picture of your brother?
No.
It's just a loan, Miss Chernak. I'll return it as soon as it's copied.
No, forget it.
Who is it, Stella?
Mr. Carson, she's had all that she
Just
could
2
take.
minutes of your time is all I need, Mrs.
Go back
Chernak.
to bed, Mama.
Couldn't this wait till in the morning?
I'm sorry, Mike. It can't. It's not going to be any easier in the morning.
Please, Mr.
Tell him to
Carson.
come in, Stella.
Thank you, Mrs. Chernak. Please accept my deepest sympathy.
You're going to write a story about my Joey? I'll make some tea, some cookies.
Oh, no, please. Please
No
don't bother.
bother. It'll just take a minute.
I'll go over to the mill. Good night, Elliot.
Good night, Mike.
I'll be back soon.
I'm sorry. I'll make it as brief as possible.
Oh, no chance. My mother will give you all his baby pictures. She'll haul out the old country silver and try to impress you. Might as well dig right in.
Why should she do that?
It's called pride. It's called protecting the dead. It's called a lot of things you wouldn't begin to understand, except the general idea is that you should say nice things about Joey. Write her an obituary that she can be proud of. Touching, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Do you think that you could do that, Mr. Carson?
It's my job to print the facts. I think you know that.
You can select the facts that you choose to print?
Such as?
Everybody in town knows about Joey's reputation. You don't have to dig it up. You don't have to remind them.
His record in the honor farm.
You could spare my mother that much.
Look, Miss Chernak, I don't know what I'm going to write yet. All I know is that a young man died in Peyton Place unexpectedly.
You want a story, don't you? I'll tell you something. You're not going to find it raking over Joey's past. Find out how he died and who he was with. You'll sell more copies.
Do you know?
No, I don't. Maybe, Rodney Harrington might.
There's really no need in waiting up. Your father may not be back for hours.
I'm not tired. I was thinking about the time I took Rita Jackson to the bookstore to keep those boys from bothering her. One of them was Joe Chernak.
I know.
If somebody had told me then, in 2 months, that boy's gonna be dead, would you have believed it?
We never think about these things happening. Until they do.
I didn't know Joe Chernak. I mean, he wasn't my friend or anything. But I feel the same way I would if I'd lost somebody terribly important to me.
I think a lot of that's because of the way it happened and how we heard about it.
Look at that clock. Just think, yesterday at this time, Joe Chernick was alive. He was doing all the ordinary things people do every day for the very last time. He's the first person my own age I ever knew who died. It can happen, just like that.
It does happen, sooner or later, to everybody.
Then why do we all keep pretending? Why do we act as if it all goes on and on forever?
In a way, it does. Any more night thoughts?
Night thoughts?
That's what I used to call them when I was your age.
I was thinking about Kim Schuster. You see, she was on the wharf when we found her. After she ran away from the library, that's where we found her, on the wharf. She could have seen what happened. She could have seen Joe Chernick die.
Now, you have no real reason to believe that's the way it happened.
You didn't see her face when we found her.
Oh, but Allison, children are frightened by so many things. A noise, a shadow, not the dark itself.
I know they get frightened, but not like that, not the way she was. I was supposed to be taking care of her, so it's my fault.
Allison.
Don't say I shouldn't blame myself. Please don't.
I wish I could, but I can't. Kim was your responsibility. And whatever really did happen will have to be faced. Hello? Oh, yes, dear. Yes, she's right here. Just a minute. They what? Have they any reason to believe that... Well, yes, I will. I'll do my best, but... You come home as soon as you can, huh? That was your father. He was calling from the police station. There just isn't any easy way to tell you this. But they've asked Rodney to come in.
Rodney?
They want him to answer a few questions.
About what?
Your father didn't say. It's just something routine.
But I thought what happened to Joe Chernick was supposed to have been an accident.
Well, they still have to investigate.
Oh. When does he have to go in the morning or when?
He's there now.
Now? But that can't be routine, not at this hour. Is Norman with him?
Just Rod.
They couldn't think that he had anything to do with...
Your father didn't go into any details, just that Rodney was being questioned and that you were not to worry. I wish I could tell you more, but that's all I know. Where are you going?
I want to be with him.
What can you do?
I can be there.
Allison.
Mother, I can't just sit here and do nothing.
No, you can't.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
I want to know if there's anything in Rodney's statement that gives you any reason to want to question him further.
It's too early to tell.
Why did you run away when you discovered Joe Chernick was dead? What proof do you have that you ever intended to go to the police?
Well, I have some very bad news for you, Stella. It's your son, Joe. There's been an accident.